Are you a working mom? Could you use some more work-life balance and maybe some working mom tips? Well, if so, then stick around because that's exactly what we're going to start diving into today. This is the beginning of my latest series here, Work-Life Balance for Moms, where we're going to talk about my recommended tools and strategies to help us not just survive working motherhood, but really be able to thrive in working motherhood. I have 8 tools and strategies for you all. This is a 4-part series and we'll cover 2 strategies in each part. So let's get to it. So hey there and welcome back. I'm Alicia from Alicia Cohen Designs, where I teach you intentional planning and productivity. If you're new around here, would you please do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button? It means a lot to me, helps support my channel, and it's just really nice to know that I have supporters out there. So please give that subscribe button a tap, and now let's get to our topic. Okay. Here we are with part 1. Here's the plan for today's video. First, real quick, we're going to cover some brief points just to make sure we're all on the same page for this video. Then we'll cover my 2 tips that I have for you today. I just wanted to give you a heads up that I have a freebie that I made for you all. It's a set of pretty downloadable printables with encouraging working mom quotes on them. I really like them. I hope you do too. So stick around to the end of this video because I'll show you what the printables look like and I'll tell you the quotes. But if you just can't wait, the link to download the printables is in the description below. All right, now let's get on to that first section of today's video. So let's get on the same page real quick. When we're talking about working motherhood, I think what a lot of us are looking for is a way to be effective in what we do. So my goal for you with the strategies that I share in this series is to help you increase your working mom effectiveness. It's important to note here that being effective is not synonymous with doing it all. That is literally impossible. Did you catch the final part of my previous series? It was part of a series I did also for working moms in which I talked about what it really means to do it all. If you haven't already, go take a listen to that. I'll link it now over there in the cards and then come back to this video. This series is really a follow-up series to my first series for working moms, so I just wanted to let you know that. Also, real quick, just so we're on the same page, when I say a working mom, what I mean is that a working mom is just anyone who is a mom that also does some other work above and beyond your motherhood duties, full-time, part-time, outside of the home, at home. It all counts in my book. All right? So now let's get to that first strategy. Examine your season. It's going to be really hard to be effective and feel effective as a working mom or even just as a mom or as a person if you're not fully aware of and living within your season. So we have to get crystal clear on what our current personal life season is. Now, you may or may not have heard me talk about this before, but I am big on knowing your season, and I don't just mean winter, spring, summer, fall. So let's talk about a few things here. What is a season? A season is a period of time in your life. Could be a week, 2 weeks, a month, several months, a year, a few years, but it's a period of time that is personal to you in your particular set of circumstances in your life, whatever your situation is, whatever is going on with you, that comprises your season. So things like, are you pregnant? Do you have a newborn? Do you have a toddler? Are any of those things, relevant to you? Are any of those things part of your season? Do they apply? The newborn season, it doesn't last forever. Pregnancy doesn't last forever, though sometimes it felt like it did. Toddlerhood is a season. So the ages and stages of our children are part of what comprises our current season, but also other things go into comprising our season. Work comprises our current season. Is it a busy season or a light season? Is it a season of full-time work or part-time work or something other? What is going on with your work? There is seasonality there. Maybe you're a teacher. There is the school season, there is the summer break season, and related to this, maybe you are the parent of kids who are school age. So then there is also school season and summer break season, but then also first quarter and second quarter and third quarter and fourth quarter, or maybe college tour season if you have a high schooler and you're looking at colleges, or maybe sports like soccer season or lacrosse season, especially if your child is a serious athlete and there are tournaments or travel involved with a sport or lots of practices. Holidays can play into your personal season. So there are lots of things that go into what comprises our season. So we talked about what is a season, but now let's talk about why does this matter? This matters because if you are trying to do anything in your life, but you are not taking all the elements of your season into account, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. Magical thinking, where we think that we can get so much more done in a particular period of time than we actually can, is challenging enough to deal with on its own, but it becomes infinitely more challenging to deal with when we are doing magical thinking and we are not crystal clear on our current season of life. So, knowing our current season of life matters so that we can plan effectively, because when we get really clear on our current season of life, then we are able to take an honest look at what needs to go and what can stay. You may have heard me talk before about choosing between good and good. This may be a season where you need to be doing that. It may be helpful to be intentional about choosing between good and good in the interest of your sanity. Maybe you can join a book club, or you can get back into yoga. Both are good. Both are wonderful pursuits. But perhaps during this season of your life, if you were to do both of those things, then you would be sacrificing your sanity given everything else that's going on for you. So choosing between good and good is important and a significant part of living within your season effectively, which again, this is important so that you're actually living your life well and realistically. Okay. So we talked about what's a season and why it's important and how we need to get really clear. So let me give you 3 quick questions that you can answer to get you on your way to understanding your current season. The first question is, what's actually going on for you right now? Brain dump it, get it all out. And I know that it might seem like, but Alicia, I already know what's going on, but just humor me. Do the exercise, write it down, because it's different when it's staring back at us from a piece of paper and we can really see the full extent to what we're working with. Then the next question to answer is, what's important to you? And you can use that first list that you just made to help you make the second list. And again, write it down, because if you have 3 things that are important to you or 57 things that are important to you, you are going to want to see that and reflect on that. And then the third question that I want you to answer actually has a part A and a part B. Part A is, how are you doing now? Like, really doing? And then part B to this question is, if you had a magic wand that you could make 5 things happen for you right now, what would those things be? Because with these questions, you're taking a basic inventory of your current state of things, and then you're also starting to think about if or what you want to do moving forward to impact these things for the better for yourself, assuming that there are some things that you're currently not the happiest about. Okay, we'll continue on with our topic in just a moment, but before we get back to it, if you haven't already, would you please hit that subscribe button? As I like to say, you subscribing is kind of like the gasoline for my channel. It keeps things running around here, so please help keep this puppy running and subscribe. All right, back to it. So now, let's take a look at that second strategy that I have for you today. Assuming you have watched my video about the truth about doing it all, or assuming that you already are fully accepting of this concept of doing it all, or rather not doing it all, I want us to take a look at this following phrase that I have for us, because even when we understand that we can't do it all and that we know that that's ridiculous or that's not real life, many of us still operate as if this is achievable and attainable. But I think the reason is because of this following phrase. I know I can't do it all, but I still want to do it all, right? So we know we can't do it all. We know that this is not real life. This is not achievable. This is not attainable. This is not what we're going for. Yet we still function as if somehow on some level it is. And so here, this is just a mindfulness piece, a mindset piece for us to be thinking about, just getting really clear with ourselves on, yeah, you know what? I know I can't do it all. I know that makes no sense. That's an impossibility. And yet if I'm really honest with myself, I still want to do it all. I'm still living out of this mindset that I could somehow do it all if I just worked hard enough or just hustled enough or whatever. If I just was more in control, if I was just more effective, if I was just more efficient, if I just tried harder, whatever we're telling ourselves, because we know we can't do it all. But then yet we still somehow get sucked into the thinking, and it can be kind of sneaky, right? We don't realize we're getting sucked in because we still get sucked in though. And because we're still trying, we still want to be able to do it all, because wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be fun to be able to do all the fun things and achieve all the things we want to achieve and go all the places we want to go and hang out with all the people we want to hang out with and participate in all the things that we want to participate in? and do all the things with our kids that we want to do with our kids, and, right? So, get present, get mindful, be aware of this piece, this mindset trip up, and just be gentle with yourself and accepting. Yeah, you know what? I do want to do it all, and it really stinks that I can't. And in the pursuit of my sanity and living a life where I'm pursuing well-being and focusing on what matters most, again, back to that first part, there's a choice here between good and good. And honestly, I mean, maybe it's a choice between good and not so good, because trying to do it all is not so good in my opinion. But if we're choosing between pursuing this illusion, this impossibility of somehow yet still trying to do it all, or our sanity, well, choose your sanity. That's what I say. Be aware of wanting to do it all and say, yeah, you know what, self, thanks. I would like to do it all. And that's just not real life. And I know it's not, but I really need to live like it's not. And I need to make some choices between good and good. And I need to make some choices between my, sanity and the do it all mindset. And I need to choose sanity. I want to choose sanity. I want to stop chasing after doing it all as if it were somehow possible, if I just tried hard enough. So that's what I have for you for today for our first 2 strategies for how to realistically and sanely approach life as a working mom in a way that we can feel like we are thriving and not just surviving. And remember that next time we will cover my next 2 recommended strategies for how to do this working mom thing in a way where we are feeling awesome about it, because it really is possible with the right strategies and the right mindset. Okay, remember I promised you that I'd tell you about the freebie that I made for you? Well, let me show it to you now. All right, so I made 3 downloadable printables for you with encouraging quotes about being a working mom. For the first one, we have this lovely one here with a quote from former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama that says, "For me, being a mother made me a better professional, because coming home every night to my girls reminded me what I was working for. And being a professional made me a better mother, because by pursuing my dreams, I was modeling for my girls how to pursue their dreams." For the second one, we have this great quote from comedian Tina Fey that says, "I think every working mom probably feels the same thing. You go through big chunks of time where you're just thinking, this is impossible. Oh, this is impossible. And then you just keep going, and you sort of do the impossible." And finally, we have this sweet quote from author Jill Churchill that says, "There is no way to be a perfect mother, but a million ways to be a good one." So if you want to have these for yourself, go click the link in the description below. They're formatted in the 8x10 size, and you can print them at home or get them professionally printed or whatever you prefer. I hope that you like them and that they inspire and encourage you in your working mom journey. As always, thanks so much for spending this time with me. That wraps up part 1 for today. Be on the lookout for part 2 coming your way soon. And my parting encouragement, as always, if you are feeling overwhelmed today, remember that when it comes to planning and productivity, being intentional plus not giving up means that you are going to get there. Catch you next time. Take good care.